NXT Showdown absolutely delivered. Oh my god. This TNA versus NXT thing was a masterpiece. This episode alone could have been a PLE. This was so good. This was so entertaining. I've never enjoyed a show so much. I've never enjoyed a show as much as I enjoyed this episode. This was so fun from start to finish. Pure joy, pure entertainment. When I tell you this might have been the best wrestling show episode outside of a PLE I've ever watched, I mean it. This episode could have literally been a PLE and I'd have had no complaints about it. And this is probably one of the first shows that I could honestly say I enjoyed every single match that was on the match card. This was so entertaining. Oh my god, this was even better than I expected. I was so hyped about this going into it, and it absolutely delivered in a way that I can't even put into words. Like, I came home super tired, low energy, and by the end of watching NXT, I was hyped up, jumping all over the place, seeing all my favorites back, seeing the Hardy Boys, seeing some new faces, some old faces, seeing some absolute bangers, absolute classic matchups. Oh my god. Like I said, whoever came up with this idea, they need a kiss on their forehead or something. Jesus. This was absolutely NXT. I don't even know what to say, but it's keeping WWE alive at this point. Okay. Oh my god, this was so fun. This was so unique, so interesting, so entertaining. This was literally for the fans. And if you haven't watched NXT versus TNA Showdown this episode, if you haven't watched it, I'm telling you, you have to. You must. You need to. If you're a fan of wrestling, you just want to see pure entertainment, pure joy, just pure delight from start to finish, this is the show for you. I would definitely recommend it. 10 out of 10. I would recommend you go watch it on your own free time, because this was absolutely a classic. This was like once in a lifetime type of thing, how fun it was, how entertaining it was. And I hope we're able to get stuff like this more in the future. I have my fingers crossed, because this was absolutely amazing. This was absolutely amazing. This was spectacular. Not a single segment that I didn't like. Everything on the show was just so fun. It clicked. It was just there. And they set up everything beautifully. The presentation, the narration we got at the beginning of the show, at the start of the show. We literally got this Dragon Ball Z type of narration. And it was so fun. We were getting a recap of the whole arc, why this invasion thing is happening, the story leading up to it, the events leading up to it. We got a whole recap on it, which was really funny, which was really fun. And we even got a narration of the match card that was to come later on tonight. It was so fun. And the music that went along with it, the hype track that went along with it, everything was on point. And it can't be denied. NXT has this special way of making everything feel so big, so unique, so monumental. And they've perfected it down to a T. They know how to make everything feel special, and they did just that with this episode. Like, this was a weekly episode, mind you. This was a normal weekly episode, not a PLE or anything. It was so special, so unique, so fun. Oh my god. But let's just get right into this review, okay? Like, there's no need to hold up anything. Let's just talk about what we saw in this episode. Let's talk about the bangers, the classics, the matchup, the dream matches, the absolute spectacular show we got. But before all that, we got to get into the quote of the day first, okay? Quote of the day: healing doesn't always look like fireworks. It often looks like quiet mornings, deeper breaths, and learning how to smile at yourself again. He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. Psalms chapter 147, verse 3. That is your quote of the day. Now let's get right into this video. Let's get right into this review. Let's talk about NXT Showdown, okay? So we kicked off NXT Showdown with our first match of the night, and it was just 4 matches tonight, and it was just match after match after match. No promos, no nothing. Straight hands, straight action, straight beefs that needed to be resolved, receipts that needed to be returned. It was just straight hands, straight problem resolution, okay? And that's what this show was. So we kicked off, and our first match was TNA's World Tag Team Champions, the Hardy Boys, Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy, versus NXT's Tag Team Champions, Dark State. And this was a title versus title match, winner takes all. So the tag team that wins, they're officially the ultimate tag team. They hold both brands' tag team championships, which was the stake of this match. So winner takes all, title versus title, knows the tag team championships on the line. And we kicked off with a huge 4-on-2 brawl. The group known as Dark State started off by jumping the Hardy Boys, and I'm over here. I'm like, come on, have a heart. These men are basically ancient at this point, okay? Respecting them, but they're old men at this point. What are you jumping them for on two? It's already fair as it is. You guys are young, youthful, energetic, all over the ring. You could jump left, right, and center all night long. They can't. What are you jumping them before the match even starts for? The age advantage wasn't enough for you? I'm like, come on, Dark State. Have some pride. Jesus. But it was really funny though. They started off jumping the Hardy Boys, and I'm like, really? You guys needed to do this? But it was really funny in my opinion. After the Hardys finished getting jumped for a little bit, the match officially started, and this match was so entertaining. And let me just say, the fact that the Hardy Boys can still move how they're moving at the age they are at now, the fact that they can still move how they're moving at this time and at this point in their career is absolutely incredible. Jeff Hardy, for one, he was doing high flying moves all over the place, jumping off the top ropes. The sequences we got from the Hardy Boys, it was absolutely unbelievable. The fact that they can move so efficiently, so effectively, so impressively at this point in the time of their career, like there's something that needs to be said about it. It needs to be applauded. It needs to be recognized because this tag team, it might just be one of the greatest tag teams in the world. This was so cool watching them back in the ring again, back in NXT, because I haven't seen them in a while. I know they've been down at AEW and stuff like that, but I haven't been watching that really. So it was really fun seeing them down at NXT, really doing what they love and just being all over the ring, entertaining the fans, just being a pure delight to watch. It was so fun, and they impressed me so much. I didn't think they still had it how they had it, okay? Let me just say that. Like I said, though, we had Jeff Hardy doing crazy moves off the top ropes. We got impressive spots and sequences from both Hardy Boys, which was an absolute delight to watch. And Dark State did their thing as well. Don't trip. They showed up and they showed out as well. They did their thing. They were keeping up with the OGs, with the vintage team. They were keeping up. And rightfully so, at the end of the match, after a very entertaining match, after a very energetic match, after the crowd absolutely lost their mind, after a roller coaster of emotions, just straight up, no downs, no mids, no nothing, after an entertaining match, rightfully so, the Hardy Boys were able to pick up the win over Dark State. And believe it or not, Jeff Hardy was the one to hit a swanton dive off the top ropes onto Dark State for the win, and now the Hardy Boys hold all the tag team gold. They're holding 2 different tag team championships, and Hardy Boys are officially the greatest tag team in the world, okay? I think it was announced that the Hardy Boys were the first tag team to hold all the tag team championships in almost every brand, or all the major brands at least. Don't quote me on it, but that's what the announcer said, which was a really big thing, which was a really crazy accomplishment if you really think about it. They've been all over the world, all over the place, and they're still competing, which is insane. Anyhow, after that first match, after that first banger, we got another banger. And it was the second match of the night. And it was the Women's Survivor Series elimination style type of match. And it was Team TNA versus Team NXT's, the women's team. And Team TNA consisted of The Inspiration, Mariah Sade, Kalani Jordan, versus Team NXT, Vice City Lola Vice, Miss Parker, Jada Parker, Sol Ruka, and JC Jane. And we had a special guest referee, aka the Muscle Muffin, JG Jordani Grace. And she was the special guest referee, and this match was so fun. This match was something else, okay? This match was special. This match was something so entertaining. This was pure entertainment from start to finish. Everybody absolutely showed up and showed out. Both brands left it all out there, and it was pure entertainment, pure delight. The moves we got, the sequences, everybody was all over the place. It was nonstop action, quick pace, and everything was on point. It was so fun. Oh my God, all the unique spots, the sequences, the crowd absolutely loved this. Throughout the whole entire night, we got "This is awesome." We got "This is awesome" chants. We got so many different chants. It was so fun, so high energy. But the match, we got to talk about the match. So this was an elimination style type of match. So one person gets eliminated and the last team standing wins. So throughout the match, we got the eliminations in this order. So the first elimination we got was Miss Parker, Jada Parker. She was the first one eliminated by Sade. And after that, the second elimination we got was Sade. She was eliminated by Sol Ruka. And then we went on to get our third elimination, and it was Cassie Lee, who was eliminated by Lola Vice, followed by Jessie K, who was also eliminated by Lola Vice. And we got to a point where TNA was down 3-1, and it was just Kalani Jordan facing up against Sol Ruka, JC Jane, and Lola Vice. Lola Vice went on to be eliminated by Kalani Jordan, and she was the 5th woman eliminated. And after that, Kalani Jordan went on to be the 6th and last person eliminated by JC Jane, and Team NXT was able to pick up the win over Team TNA. And the NXT's women's team stood tall, and the last two standing on the Team NXT's team, it was Soharuka and JC Jane, and they were the last two officially standing, and Team TNA lost to Team NXT's women team. And that was a lot of words. I'm sorry if I messed up anything, but that was a lot of words to get through. But that was basically the whole gist of the match. Team NXT was the last team standing. And like I said, this match was really entertaining. We got so many spots, so many unique sequences. It was so fun from start to finish. The crowd absolutely loved it. They were chanting for everybody. Everyone got love throughout this match. It was so fun. The crowd was absolutely unbiased tonight. They were there for everyone and everything. It was so fun. Anyhow, after this, we got to our third match of the night, and it was Mustafa Ali versus All Ego Ethan Page for the NXT North American Championship. And in this match, Mustafa Ali reminded everybody just how good he was in the ring. This man showed up and he did his thing. Mustafa Ali sold every move down to a T. I'm talking Dolph Ziggler type of levels of selling. This man was on point. This man showed us exactly how good he was and exactly what WWE has been missing out on. This man showed up. He did his thing. The selling was on point. His moveset was on point. Everything he did in the ring was just entertaining. It was impressive. His moveset was so fun to watch. He's so quick and agile in the ring. Oh my God, this was so fun to watch. And as for Ethan Page, this might have been one of the best one-on-one performances that I've ever seen from Ethan Page so far anyway. This man, Ethan Page, he absolutely did his thing as well. He refused to get outshined by Mustafa Ali, and I think Mustafa Ali brought out the best in Ethan Page because this, like I said, was one of the best one-on-one in-ring performances I've ever seen from Ethan Page. It was so entertaining, and both men absolutely showed up. They showed out, and they delivered. This was so fun. And these two, Ethan Page and Mustafa Ali, they just clicked in the ring. They started the match, they clicked, and they never stopped clicking in the ring. Everything just flowed. It was just smooth like butter, okay? And at the end of the match, we actually found out that Mustafa Ali might be cursed. Like Mustafa Ali said in his promo, he might just be cursed because at the end of the match, Mustafa Ali did this crazy suicide dive over the announcer's table, and he somehow got Booker T's headset wrapped around his foot, wrapped around his ankle, and that ended up limiting his movements in the ring. And Ethan Page saw this, and he used the opportunity to hit a twisted grin for the win on Mustafa Ali. So I'm like, I don't even know how that even happened. You did a suicide dive and somehow got Booker T's headset wrapped around your ankle, and now you can't move. I'm like, okay, you know what? If you weren't cursed before, you are now. It's confirmed at this point. Mustafa Ali has a curse where he can't win any championship in WWE, apparently. And it was so funny, though. I'm like, that's a very interesting ending. I didn't mind it at all. I'm like, it was unique. I've never seen that before, and I'm all here for it. After that, though, we finally made it to our main event, and it was the fourth and final match of the night, and it was the men's Survivor Series elimination style type of match. And it was Team NXT versus Team TNA. And Team NXT consisted of Javon Evans, Miles Bourne, Trick Williams, and Ricky Saints versus Team TNA, Moose, Leon Slater, Frankie Kazarian, and Mike Santana. And we had a special guest referee. And can you guess who it was? I'll sing a little jingle and might give it away. Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. Do you know who it was now? It was Joe Hendry, the special guest referee. I'm like, what? This match was something else as well. Just like the women's match, these men absolutely showed up and showed out too. Both brands left it all out in the ring for both of these elimination style matches. Everyone did their thing, and the matches were so entertaining from start to finish. The moves, the sequences, everybody just clicked, and they knew the goal. They understood the mission. Show up, entertain, and show out, and that's exactly what they did. And throughout this match, though, this match was a little bit quicker than the women's match. We got eliminations like flying left, right, and center. We got our first elimination very quickly. And the first elimination we got was from Team NXT. Team NXT ended up getting Miles Bourne eliminated. So Miles Bourne got eliminated by Frankie Kazarian really quickly on. And later on, after Miles Bourne got eliminated by Frankie Kazarian, we got our second elimination, and it was Javon Evans getting eliminated by Slater. And after that, just like I speculated, we ended up getting a betrayal from Mr. Trick Williams himself. And I saw it coming. I said it in my review. I was like, I know there's going to be a betrayal. I was smelling a betrayal coming from a mile away. I said if it was in the women's match, it was going to be in the men's match. And Trick Williams did not disappoint. He absolutely abandoned his team. He left them high and dry. And he literally left Ricky Saints to fend off against Team TNA. It was a 4-on-1 for the rest of the match. I was like, there's no way. Have you no backbone, man? Have you no backbone? Have you no morals? Have you no integrity? Jesus, he literally left his team high and dry. And they probably could have wanted to if Trick Williams actually stayed. But nope, he was thinking about himself. He was thinking about his pride, his ego, and he left Ricky Saints high and dry and left Team NXT to fend off against a 4-on-1. And it was a disrespectful moment. It was a disrespectful moment. I'm over here watching the show. I'm like, come on, lose like a real man at the very least. But like I said, though, Trick Williams ended up deserting his team. He ended up abandoning Team NXT and he betrayed Team NXT. So it came down to a 4v1 in TNA's favor. And very quickly on, Ricky Saints was able to eliminate Frankie Kazarian, followed by him eliminating Slater. And Moose ended up, at the end of the match, he ended up accidentally spearing his own teammate in half. He ended up spearing Mike Santana in half. But that happened to no avail because Team NXT still lost and Ricky Saints was the last competitor eliminated and Team TNA won. The TNA men's team won the men's elimination style match. So it was that. So for the men's elimination match, the TNA's men team beat the NXT's men team. But for the women's elimination styles match, Team NXT's women team beat Team TNA's women's team. So that was that. So on that front, it was basically 1-1. They were tied. But overall, though, the final score was 2-2. So both brands were basically tied. TNA had 2 wins over NXT and NXT had 2 wins over TNA. So I guess there's really no winners. Nobody really won. And also nobody really lost overall. So it was just fun. But in my book, though, everyone's a winner in my book. Everyone was a winner in my book. This was so entertaining. This was so fun. There was no losers here, in my opinion. Everybody was a winner. Everybody showed up. They showed out. They did their thing. Nobody lost. Nobody looked bad. Nobody looked anything but entertaining, anything but good, and anything but stars. They all looked like stars, okay? There was no losers here. They were all winners in my book. And I'm going to give everybody a gold star. I'm going to clap it up for them. I'm going to give them their props. I'm going to give them the credit. I'm going to give them the roses. This was so entertaining. This was so fun. And like I said, this could have been a PLE. Okay, this could have been a PLE, how entertaining it was. But that was your whole show, though. It finished off with TNA and NXT being tied 2-2. So nobody really won, but also nobody really lost. So that was that. It was just fun. It was just friendly competition. And it was really a showcase, like Santino Marella said. And I really loved that aspect of it. And there was no bad blood or anything. They agreed at the end of the show. They're like, okay, we got that out of the way. Now we could continue this partnership, this positive partnership. And I was like, okay, you know, I respect it. You got your beef out the way. You squabbled. You got your tensions out the way. Now we're going to go back to our regular scheduled program, which is pretty cool. And I really enjoyed the sentiment. I really enjoyed the message behind that. But that was your whole NXT Showdown show. That was your whole NXT Showdown episode. And overall, I would rate this show a proud 9 out of 10. This episode, like I said, could have been a PLE and I would have not complained about it at all. This was so entertaining. This was pure fun and pure entertainment from start to finish, like I said. And this was probably one of the best wrestling episodes I've ever watched. Non-PLE shows I've ever watched. This was so fun. And like I said, I think I honestly enjoyed every match on this card, every match on this show. It was so entertaining to watch. I enjoyed this. And still right now, I don't know if you could hear it or not, I'm still high off the energy that I was given tonight, that I was shown tonight. I'm still excited. I'm still hyped. And I'm like, man, it was just so fun. This was something else. This was something special. This was something unique. And I do hope that we get more of this in the future. More TNA versus NXT stuff. Maybe even Raw versus TNA. Maybe SmackDown versus TNA. Because this was something special. This was well needed. This was a reset button that was hit that I didn't even know that needed to be hit. This was really special. This was something unique. This was something once in a lifetime. This was great. And I really do hope we get more of this because I genuinely enjoyed it. And I'm pretty sure you could even hear it too in my voice. This was really nice. I really loved this. But anyhow, though, that was my breakdown and my review of NXT's Showdown. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for hearing me out. And thank you for being here. Like, comment, and subscribe if you want to. Like, comment, and subscribe if you'd like to. And like, comment, and subscribe if you choose to. As always, it's been a pleasure. I'm out.